Just when we thought Nigel Farrage was going to enjoy his cozy life at GB News, out comes the latest political plot twist. Yes, the man who gave us Brexit, and a whole lot of headlines, is back. And this time, his big move involves turning Reform UK upside down. Apparently he's not done shaking up British politics or hogging the spotlight, but hey, can we really be surprised? Farage seems to thrive on chaos. So, what's the game plan now? Are we witnessing another classic Farage PR stunt? Or is this the real deal?
Great job 4 nights a week at GB News, which I was loving. Just been voted News Presenter of the Year for the 2nd year in a row. And I had not one, but 2 grandchildren on the way. The first of whom, I'm delighted to say, was born on June the 23rd, Brexit Day. How about that?
Nigel Farage is no stranger to shaking up British politics. Most people remember him as the man who led the charge for Brexit, relentlessly campaigning for years to get the UK out of the European Union. He was a polarizing figure back then, but you can't deny he was effective. Farage was the leader of the UK Independence Party, UKIP, and then went on to form the Brexit Party, pushing the Leave agenda until the UK finally exited the EU in 2020. After achieving his long-term political goal, Farage seemed to take a step back from the high-pressure world of politics. He transitioned into media, becoming a popular figure on GB News, where he carved out a niche for himself as an outspoken critic of the political elite. His sharp wit and no-nonsense attitude earned him the title of News Presenter of the Year, 2 years running. For a while, it seemed like he was happy staying out of direct politics, enjoying his media success and quieter personal life. But in typical Farage fashion, he couldn't stay on the sidelines for long. And now, in a shocking live announcement, he's back with something big, something that could change the face of UK politics once again. Just when everyone thought Farage had traded political rallies for TV studios, he's thrown himself back into the mix. His latest announcement? It's nothing short of a bombshell, and it has the potential to shake up the very foundations of the current political landscape. If you thought Farage was done making headlines, think again, because this time, he's got his eyes on something even bigger.
Making money, no pressure, no stress, no abuse from the press. Life couldn't have been better. And then Rishi Sunak calls a snap general election. And I think to myself, given the short time period, is there anything I can do? And actually, would I want to do it?
In May, life for Nigel Farage couldn't have been better. He had just celebrated his 60th birthday, was in good health, and thriving professionally. His role at GB News, where he worked 4 nights a week, had earned him the title of News Presenter of the Year for the 2nd year in a row. Personally, he was equally content with 2 grandchildren on the way, one born on June 23rd, fittingly Brexit Day. Farage was enjoying life without the stress and media scrutiny he had endured for years. With weekends off and no political pressures, he had built a comfortable, peaceful existence. Everything seemed perfect, but Farage is never one to rest for long, and soon, that calm would be disrupted.
And then Rishi Sunak calls a snap general election. And I think to myself, given the short time period, is there anything I can do? And actually, would I want to do it? Would I want to give up a really comfortable, easy life and one that involved weekends off?
Rishi Sunak's snap election forced Nigel Farage into a moment of reflection. After years in the political arena, he was enjoying a peaceful, comfortable life in media, free from public scrutiny. But as Sunak's announcement shook the country, Farage wrestled with the idea of returning to politics. Farage couldn't ignore the failures of the Conservative government over the past 14 years. Promises made in 2019, especially under Boris Johnson, now felt hollow. Immigration, crime, and economic decline had worsened, and Farage felt restless watching the Conservatives fail to deliver on key issues like Brexit, border control, and economic growth. Ultimately, Farage had to ask himself, stay comfortable or return to fix a broken system.
And frankly, I thought to myself, Britain is broken. And then I couldn't help it. Well, if Britain is broken, then logically, Britain needs reform.
When Nigel Farage said, Britain is broken, he meant it literally. His major concern was mass immigration, which he felt the conservative government had failed to control, leading to divided communities. Violent crime, especially knife and gun violence, also alarmed him, making even affluent areas unsafe. Farage pointed to the NHS, once a national pride, now overwhelmed and inefficient, with people unable to get GP appointments. The economy, stagnant without massive public borrowing, was another clear sign of decline. His biggest frustration, though, was the Conservative government's failure to deliver on Brexit promises. Having stepped aside in the 2019 election to support Brexit, Farage now felt those promises had been hollow. Instead of taking control, Britain was stuck in a cycle of broken systems. For Farage, the need for reform wasn't just important, it was urgent.
So as I stood after the count in Clacton, in those early hours of July the 5th, I said that yes, of course, I would represent the constituency, the constituents in Parliament, but I had a job, and my job was to professionalise and democratise Reform UK. That was a solemn promise and pledge that I made to you, the members.
Nigel Farage's decision to lead Reform UK wasn't taken lightly. After enjoying a comfortable life outside politics, the state of the country pushed him to act. Reform UK, born from the Brexit movement, offered the platform to address deeper systemic issues. Farage's mission was clear: increase votes, gain a presence in Parliament, and tackle political corruption. His strategy was ambitious, yet focused. To establish Reform UK as a serious political contender, Farage prioritized professionalizing the party and selecting strong, credible candidates who could challenge the two-party system. Farage didn't want Reform UK to be just another fringe party. He aimed to build a professional, organized force capable of reshaping British politics. Under his leadership, the party would undergo significant changes, from refining its policies to ensuring it had the resources to contest elections effectively. Farage's return to politics is driven by a commitment to reform, using Reform UK as the vehicle for change.
We just, at that stage of our development, we weren't big enough, wealthy enough, professional enough to vet general election candidates properly. And we were let down. That amateurism let us down. We could have won a lot more votes, and there are lessons that we need to learn from that.
Farage's live announcement wasn't just about his return to politics. It marked a transformation in Reform UK's structure. Surprising many, he declared that the party would be handed over to its members, shifting from a shareholder-led model where Farage owned 60% to a member-owned, non-profit organization. This move signaled a new direction, emphasizing grassroots involvement and collective responsibility, empowering members to shape the party's future. Farage's vision goes beyond control. He wants Reform UK to be a movement driven by the people. A critical part of this change is his commitment to rigorous vetting of candidates to ensure only credible, serious contenders represent the party. By professionalizing the selection process, Farage aims to build trust and credibility and steer Reform UK toward genuine political reform.
We changed the structure of the party. No longer will it be a company guaranteed by shares, but a company limited by guarantee. It'll be a non-profit making organization, and I will not be the shareholder. In fact, do you know who's going to be the shareholder of Reform UK? You, the members, will own this party. You will own this party, not me. And we will have a board to manage the party with significant elected representation from the members. And that board will be there to safeguard to safeguard how we're operating, to prevent entryism. We wouldn't want a Corbyn-style takeover, would we, of our party as Labour suffered a few years ago.
Nigel Farage's strategy for Reform UK centres on grassroots movements, focusing on creating constituency associations nationwide. He knows that to win elections under the first-past-the-post system, you need local, organised support. By establishing branches in every constituency, Farage aims to mobilise supporters and make Reform UK an active force in communities. Inspired by the Liberal Democrats' grassroots success, Farage plans to replicate their model, engaging local communities and building teams of passionate volunteers. By doing this, Reform UK can raise awareness, recruit candidates, and contest elections with a real chance of winning. Farage's goal is not just to participate in elections, but to make Reform UK a genuine part of local communities. Through these branches, he hopes to lay the groundwork for success in district, county, and unitary elections, seeing the grassroots approach as key to breaking into the political mainstream.
Whatever I do, or Richard does, or Zia does, or the rest of the MPs do, whatever our management team do, whatever our social media guys do, that can only take us so far. We will not realise our dream unless the People's Army of supporters are organised, unless the People's Army of supporters are helped to professionalise, unless that People's Armies fight elections not just as a paper name on the ballot, but with the intention of winning as many seats as we can. This party will succeed or fail in its historic mission, according to what you 4,000 good folk are able to do and to impart over the course of the next few years. It's up to you. It really is up to you.
Farage's vision for Reform UK extends far beyond winning a few seats. He believes the party can succeed in the upcoming general elections and reshape British politics. His 5-year plan is clear: start by winning local council seats, gain a foothold in Parliament, and ultimately challenge the long-standing two-party system. Though aware of the challenges, Farage is ready for the fight. The first step is targeting local elections to establish Reform UK as a serious political force. From there, the focus shifts to gaining parliamentary representation, a tough task, but one he believes is achievable with the right strategy and grassroots support.
In the polls, with the Conservatives in Scotland already, the fact that a small team managed to field candidates who didn't embarrass us in every single one of those Scottish constituencies, there are opportunities there. In Wales, Wales will elect under the D'Hondt proportional representation system. It is it not, David, the most astonishing opportunity? And these are all our building blocks. These are all the big hurdles, I guess, that we have to get over. But if we succeed in 25, we build even bigger in 26, and we keep going, then I promise you, sky is the limit. Sky is the limit.
Farage's ultimate goal is to reform the entire system, addressing issues like immigration, crime, and economic stagnation. He envisions a party that can restore national pride and fix what he sees as a broken political system. For him, this isn't about short-term wins. It's about building a lasting political movement that can drive real change. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.